Yes, I know. I just did a Weather Radio collection video not long ago, but this is basically after I got the Zoneguard Plus, which is right there. So, yeah. Anyways, since I already did one, and since you guys know what my radios are called, I'm just gonna do it quick. So yeah. Anyways, let's start right here. Midland 74200.
After midnight. Not as cool with lows in the lower 40s. Southwest winds.
This is one of the older radios by Midland. As you can see, it has same digital weather hazard alert monitor. This little cap thing is just for programming. And you got your little speaker, really hard to see, but it's somewhere. Screen display, green statement and yellow watch. Got your little volume knob and the alarm. So, yeah, and then you got your little earphone jack, I guess. So, yeah, and snooze button and other buttons like that. Alright. Anyways, moving on to the Recom R1630.
North winds around 5 miles per hour. Saturday night through Monday, mostly.
Yep, this is, pretty something. Shows the previous alerts. Yep. Stuff like that. Next is the Running Snail MD319.
Then a chance of showers after midnight. Lows in the lower 40s.
Yep. Pretty somewhat button beeps. Model number, just like the 74200. Backlight. Pretty something. Pretty nice color. This one is more of the recent radios. This one was made in 2019, in case you guys don't know. Yeah, and this is the version 20, so that means it will not crash at all if a long enough header pops up, like the older versions. I'm glad Running Snail fixed it because, yeah, I was actually planning on to get this, but since the older versions were having a firmware crash, I was deciding not to. But with the version 20 out and no longer any firmware problems, I was able to get it now. And yeah, and it has AM/FM and stuff. So, yep. Anyways, next Radio Shack 12-249.
Information for the greater Northeast. Here are the 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time observations at Albany.
Yep. That's what it sounds like. Green statement, yellow watch. Again, this is for programming. The antenna is really somewhat unique because it has like this little like extension right here, and then this is the actual antenna, so that's something. And it also has the same scroll as the 74200. So, yeah. Anyways, next is the Midland WR400.
57 degrees. Looking around the Northeast.
This is one of the recent Midland models that they've made. Screen is really nice, and button beeps. Really unusual, unlike with older Midland model numbers, or radios, I guess. So, yeah, and also AM/FM. Next is basically the AM/FM version of the Recom R1630, the Recom R1650.
Now here is the hazardous weather outlook for northwestern Connecticut.
Yep. Again, shows the previous alerts. So yeah. Basically the same exact thing, except with AM/FM. So yeah. Anyways, moving on down here into the bottom of, well, basically the bottom section of the bookshelf. The Radio Shack 12-991. Red Logo Edition.
Dry and tranquil weather returns to the area on Friday. Temperatures will be returning closer to seasonable levels today.
Yep. Really nice reception. This radio is really fantastic for DXing. I tell you not. Seriously, this thing is literally just the king of DXing. Well, yeah, the 12-993 is as well. But I don't have that radio because I can't find it anywhere on eBay or anything. Yeah, the reason why I say red logo is because some other 12.991s actually have a white logo. This one has a red logo. So, yeah. I mean, again, it's not really much of a difference. It's just a logo. Anyways, moving on to the Eton Solar Link FR370.
40%. Friday, sunny. Highs in the...
This is a crank radio, the only crank radio I have in my collection. So as you can see, the crank is right there. And it also has a flashlight as well as an SOS light. So that's pretty cool as well. And also has a solar panel. I guess that's why it's called the Solar Link. Yeah. And then the volume and stuff like that. Anyways, moving on to the Radio Shack 12-250.
Cloudy with a 50% chance of showers. Near steady temperature in the mid-50s.
Again, another old Radio Shack radio, because it has the green statement and yellow watch light. So, yeah. And also the cap on this thing is missing, but it didn't come with it, but it's not a big deal. And it also has two knobs, one for the, I guess, the button beeps, and one for the volume. So, yeah. And also these old Radio Shacks, they use the old one, and it's wired into the actual radio itself. So that's something. Anyways, moving on to the Eton Zoneguard.
Friday night, mostly clear in the evening, then becoming partly cloudy.
Yeah, this one I leave off because it's not running on a charger. It's running on batteries. Yeah, I had to... Yeah. Yeah, that's what this Zoneguard is, basically. Yeah. Yeah, that's basically about it. Yeah, he's got their buttons, AM, FM, and stuff like that. American Red Cross and everything. Alright. Anyways, moving on to the Radio Shack 12-247A.
Monday night and Tuesday, rain likely.
This is a 1050 hertz detection radio. Shack radio. And also has a volume knob. And this red light will blink every single time an alert comes in. And again, run on a old plug. So, yeah. And also, the antenna broke off of this thing, but luckily I put it back together and the reception is fine now. So, yeah. Anyways, moving on right here, against the window, we have the Midland HH50. If I can get some reception off of it.
It was cloudy. The temperature was 58 degrees, the dew point 34, and the relative humidity 40%.
There we go. Got some reception off of that. Okay. Alright. So yeah, another 1050 hertz. It's basically a pocket radio. It could fit in your pocket. But I like to call it handheld because it basically is. Yeah, you got your little switch for alert mode and weather, broadcast, test, the alert test, and volume. And also, this is just a little temperature scanner. Yeah. Yeah. Basically just scans the temperature on what it's like. And it is definitely not 69 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll tell you that much. But anyways, moving on to the Midland HH54, the screen version of the HH50.
Or 58 degrees. Now here is the hazardous weather outlook for northwest.
Yep. This radio goes off of the second header tone. Yep. Not really much to say about this radio. I mean, button beeps, really unique. Yep, it's pretty something. This Midland HH54 version does not come with a charging cradle, so yeah, it will instead run on a jack. So, yeah. And also has travel and home mode because, I mean, it's a handheld, so, yeah. And these things are actually not that common because when I was looking for HH54s, I was not seeing a lot. I mean, I even saw a couple of them, but they both, I mean, one of them was super expensive, and the other one probably still expensive, but yeah. But if you're trying to look for a handheld radio, and yeah, if you're trying to look for a handheld radio, get this one. Fast. Yeah, because they're not that common. Or I guess you can try to get the 12522 or something. I don't know, but. Or you can just get the HH50. I mean, I know those are a little bit common, so I guess get those. And plus, they're cheap, so yeah. Anyways, moving on. Sangean CL100.
25 miles per hour. Friday night, mostly clear in the evening, then becoming partly cloudy. Lows in the upper 30s.
This is a very nice radio with the speaker quality as well as the screen display. It's pretty much just like the 400, WR400. And yeah, and the siren for this thing fades in but doesn't fade out though. I mean, it's really somewhat different compared to the other radios because their radios they just immediately go in, but this siren, however, fades in. And just like the weather broadcast, like you heard, so yeah, and also MF again. So yeah. Anyways, moving on to another 1050 radio, we have the Midland WR10.
Hour in the evening. Chance of rain 40%. Friday, sunny.
This little triangle right here will flash, and it's basically just like the HH50 siren where it like slowly goes up and then it goes back down. But this one is super low pitched. Kind of like the HH51, which I don't have, and I can also not find. Yeah, I was trying to find a HH51, but I just could not find one. They were all sold out. But, I mean, it's not really that big of a deal, because I have the HH50. But, yeah. But anyways, alert monitor, the jack, speaker, grill thing. And this radio is actually representing the M logo, in case if you guys didn't notice. Yeah, this radio represents the M logo, as you can see. So, yeah, so that's pretty cool. And also, the antenna. Yeah, this thing right here is connected to this antenna just so I can get reception for it. So, yeah, and that's the best reception that I can get off of that. But yeah, but that's besides the point. Anyways, moving on to the Capello.
Wednesday, partly sunny in the morning, then becoming mostly cloudy.
This one, pretty somewhat cool. I was actually, I do use this radio for DXing, but not like with the 991 and the SolarLink. Well, I usually bring out the 991 for DXing because the 991 is just so god good. Well, I don't even know what. It's like godly good or something like that. I don't know what else. I don't know how to describe it. But yeah, you can either have this radio like this or just flat down by that stand holder thing right there. So yeah. And when I was DXing with this radio one time back in the winter, I was able to get WXL39 in Allentown on channel 1. So that was amazing. That was super cool. And I really hope I get to do that, encounter that again someday. But, still really haven't. But, I mean, I have been coming close. But, yeah. But anyways. Anyways, moving on to the brand new Eton Zoneguard Plus.
Boom. Again, the 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time hourly information from the Capital District.
This is basically just like the original Zoneguard, except it's black and silver. Buttons are different. It has Zoneguard Plus in it. And if you don't notice, you see that? This is like slightly not really whiter, but this is whiter. And that part will flash. Either green, orange, or red. Not like with the original Zoneguard. Well, this version that I have, will not flash yellow, green, or red. It will flash green as an advisory, orange as a watch, which makes sense. Unlike with the original Zoneguard version that I have, it flashes green for some reason as a watch, but I don't know why, but it just sounds strange. And, yeah. And also, the antenna is literally just attached to the radio. You cannot move it at all. Yep, it's just stuck. And also, this also has AM/FM, as well as 2 wireless modules that come with it. So, yeah. And I already did a test, for the modules in the review episode, if you haven't checked that out yet. So, yeah. I won't be doing it this time, though. However, if you want to hear the modules go off for a test, check out the review episode of this radio. So, yeah. Anyways, moving on to the Radio Shack 12-261.
In the mid-50s. Saturday, partly cloudy.
This one is something. Goes off for the first header. Has the same siren as the 12-262, 521, and 382. The 382 I was trying to get, but I couldn't really be able to get it in time. But, yeah. And, yeah, not really much to say about this radio. Screen, it's something. And, back is nothing special. Anyways, moving on to the Radio Shack 12-519.
To 65%. Wind, southeast 5 to 10 knots.
This one also goes off for the first header, so, yeah. And it also has some pretty somewhat features like the Skywarn and an AM/FM again, like the other ones. So, yeah. Well, not always other ones, but some. And then basically the handheld Radio Shack 12-522. The backlight, it's pretty something. If you guys can see it. And, yeah.
Partly cloudy. Slight chance of showers.
Yep. Somewhat button beeps. Kind of like the 74-200, but lower pitched. So, yeah. Anyways, moving on. Over here to my dresser, we have is the Midland WR300.
Average dew points in the mid-20s.
Another AM/FM, volume knob, alarm, backlight, warning, watch, and advisory. Yeah, you get the point. Yeah, and this is also an older version. This is a version 4, so we'll have an older Midland logo and an older No Weather Radio logo. It does not say all hazards. So, yeah. And, yeah, I had to get one that says alert monitor because, as you may know, the version 5s, like the WR100s, the speaker or tuner will just die. So I had to get an older version, just so that... Yeah, I actually used to have a version 5, but that immediately... Like, seriously, I didn't even get a chance to be used. Because the second I turn on the weather station, it will just be silence, like this. Well, if I can time it right. You know, that static will be in the way.
Sure, in the mid-50s.
But basically, when I pressed it on the other WR300 I used to have back in the summer, but had to immediately return it, the weather station would just be silence. So, yeah. Anyways, that's the story behind that. Anyways, AlertWorks Ear 10.
Temperature in the mid-50s. Noon temperature.
This one goes off for the first header, just like the Radio Shack 519, 261, you name it. So yeah, somewhat backlight. You can actually dim it either low or high. So yeah, that's something, I guess. And yeah, so that's about it. Next is the Midland WR100.
Saturday, partly cloudy.
This is a version 3, so as you can see, it has alert monitor on it. The WR100 I used to have back in the summer, like the WR300, I had a version 5. It did work for 2 weeks, but then the tuner just blew up on it, and it just died. So, yeah, and it never went off for a single order ever again. Ever since. So, yeah, so as the old NOAA weather radio logo, and Midland logo slightly different. So, yeah, that's about it for that one. And then we have is the Midland WR120 Easy.
Southeast 5 to 10 knots. Weather.
This is basically the replacement or something, I guess, to replace the WR100. Midland does not make these anymore. They make WR120s, and it also the WR120 did not come with this strobe light. It just came separately. I bought this strobe light way after, or like way before I got. No. I got the 120 Easy first, and then I got the strobe light to connect it to it. So, yeah. So, and this was also the very first radio I got. So, yeah. And now, I will show you the broken radios, even though you guys already know what my broken radios are. I'll show them to the newer people, if there are newer people. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are. But anyways, the Radio Shack 12-262, now, the thing is, we weren't able to fix it yet, because we could not get access, we could not get past the unscrewing part, so, but we will find a solution for it. But yeah, it's still broken, and it will still be broken until I make a video about it being fixed, but yeah, that's the point. And then we have the newer version of this one, the Radio Shack 12-521. Speakers busted on this one, so yeah. That's about it for that one. Literally the day after I got it, it was having problems. And then here's the version 5 I was talking about, with the tuner blowing up and stuff. So, yeah. And you're also probably wondering, where's your Radio Shack 12-240? Well, due to me not getting enough reception for it, it's being put away. Because I just cannot get any good reception whatsoever. Even when it's in the back room, it didn't go off for the weekly test. Even though it had crystal clear reception, but I just don't know. So yeah. So that's the story about that radio. So yeah. It's not broken, it's just being put away. But yeah. But I just don't even know if I'll even be able to make it go off for alerts, but yeah. But anyways, that's gonna wrap up for the video. And yeah, as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.